What's up, guys? Larry here at beautiful Iron Heaven here in Omaha, Nebraska, and today we are going to do one of the more extreme workouts that I like to do time to time, and it is a 1,000 rep arm workout. So 2020, I was doing them every 4-6 weeks or so. This year I haven't really done it at all due to time constraints, not really having an arm day or anything like that. But seeing is that we only got 2 weekends left in 2022, I'm gonna use this Friday as Big Arm Friday. We're gonna really push the pump. So a couple of things to keep in mind, and I'll reiterate this throughout the video, or at least at the beginning of the video, before we get into today's talk. I use for mine, I know the stuff that's online uses about a lot of barbell work. I like to use a lot of machine work, try to really build up that metabolic stress, try to hit failure, at least on the last set, and then go from there. So, a lot of people will tell you that you don't need to do a workout like this, and maybe that's true. Like, I was even thinking last night, do I really need to do this? I'm like, it's gonna take a minute. But keep in mind at the same time, like, it's good to like do different stuff that pushes your mental, right? That pushes your physical. So don't be afraid to put in a little bit of extra work to be able to, build that physical strength, build that mental strength. And it's also cool to say, hey, I did a 1,000 rep arm workout. What'd you do? So in any event, I'm going to quit rambling. We're going to get to work, and I want you all to try this. I'm going to post a link to the workout that I did, and you can absolutely substitute some of these exercises. So don't feel that you need to do everything. Don't feel like you need to do everything by the book. So, I got a little pre-workout in me. I got my intra-workout shake, about 75 grams of carbs. I got a scoop and a half of Synthogen, 3 scoops of Hexogen, and time to get going. Let's work. Okay, guys, started out with some tricep press downs. Really, all of these are pretty straightforward. It's just exercise selection that I really want to get into with this. Is 5 sets of 20 for every exercise. So I really don't do any warm-up sets because the warm-up is going to come as the progression of the volume goes on throughout the workout. So with that being said, I wanted to pick out my traditional warm-up for triceps, which is a press down, then go to a mid-range movement for biceps because I'm alternating triceps, then biceps, triceps, and biceps. So press down, some type of curl, then another contraction movement that you're seeing right now. Excuse me. Another contraction movement that you're seeing right now in tricep dips. And then I'll do another one, a free weight movement for biceps, which is just the regular barbell curl, for no crazy amount of weight, just a 10 on each side. And I even had to reduce that to no weight because the fatigue started to really set in early. I mean, very early, for my biceps. My triceps felt like they could go on all day, but my biceps started to feel the brunt as soon as I finished the first sequence of exercises, which was just a cable curl. So a couple of notes for a session like this or any type of extreme session that you're trying to do. The first thing is that you want to make sure that you have those good calories in you, your chicken, your steak, your rice, your good carbohydrates that you can pull energy from. Number 2 is that you want to make sure, like every training session, you're well hydrated, but definitely for something as extreme as this, you want to make sure that you have that water intake as high as you possibly can. You want to make sure that you have a pretty good amount of sodium inside of your muscles so your muscles are able to contract and complete the work that's required of a session like this. And then number three, pre-workout can help, but also know that it can also hinder you. So this morning that morning I took a pre-workout, and it had 8 grams of citrulline in it. As we all know, citrulline promotes blood flow. That's probably something I didn't need help with this morning. Probably hence the fatigue in my biceps early on within the workout. But it did help facilitate a stronger pump, so I can't too much complain about that. But also at the same time, I felt if I didn't have that in my system, it wouldn't have been a big issue with fatigue. So that's something you want to keep in mind while you're doing a session like this, is that you don't necessarily need a pre-workout that has any type of pump products in it. And then another note on movement selection, you'll see something different that I did for triceps and biceps. For triceps, I did 2 stretching movements at the end. What you're looking at now is not one of them, so don't worry. Whereas biceps, I did 1. I don't do a whole lot of stretching for biceps because, for the simple fact, I don't want to hyperextend my elbow, or I don't do a whole lot of weighted stretch movements for biceps because I don't want to hyperextend my elbow. So I did 1 on the cable, and I did 2 on machines for triceps. So mainly because the triceps are bigger than the biceps, that's why I did it. But also at the same time, it helps improve my pressing strength, which has been going up as of late with no shoulder pain. So that was definitely a route I wanted to keep on taking. So really with a workout like this, and again, any type of extreme workout, you want to make sure you have your checks and balances, right? So arms, I will not train for another week. Normally arm day is on Sunday. I won't touch them again until probably next Friday, next Sunday. Haven't decided yet. We'll see how the week plays out with the holiday and all that, and my scheduling here. And also on top of that, I didn't have a session. I don't have a session today, which this session took place on Friday. So I don't have a session today. And again, I won't touch arms or anything close to arms until Tuesday when I train back in the morning. So there's ample time for arms to recover, which apparently research has shown recover the fastest out of every body part. For instance, you can train biceps if you use a limited amount of volume every day and get some type of result from it. So I'm not going to go that crazy ever, but also at the same time, you could train arms quite frequently. So keep that in mind. The goal for this exercise, for this workout, was to just get maximum blood flow in the muscle. Put myself through a little bit of a different mental challenge because by the 3rd exercise in, it really started to suck. So I just really had to grit through it. And even though I was trying to move at a pretty good clip, because I do get up before my first prayer to train, and I didn't want to miss it. So I was moving at a pretty good clip. It still took me 2 hours to complete. So even if you just keep the rest periods low to like 30 to 45 seconds at the beginning, it's not really going to matter too much because this workout does take a while. So if you're going to do it, I highly recommend you set out a block of time, uninterrupted time, where you can complete it. Because it's going to take a minute. It is really going to take a minute. And I'll be honest with you, you have to have something where you can keep focus. The only time I was on my phone was when I had to change a song, or even if I did change a song, it was real fast and just something I had pre-planned in my mind, because you will lose focus, and you don't want to lose focus. You want to keep constant tension on the muscle. You want to concentrate on what you're doing. So also notice the majority of the movements are machine. I only did 1 free weight exercise. That is by design. I don't want to start getting up there in reps and I start to fatigue, and then I just start cheating the movement up with swinging and whatnot. You saw a slight swing on the barbell curls, and that's something I tried to intentionally avoid, but it happens. So when you do something like this, again, use machines that you can brace against, use movements that you can brace against and not for. So that's obviously machine and plate loaded movements. So make sure you just pick those exercises that allow you to do that, because the last thing you want to do is start to have other muscles come in and compensate for what you're trying to do. Again, which is maximum blood flow. Also, I think this is good. I think these type of workouts are good to test mental strength. I think they're good to develop some type of work capacity, provided you do these relatively infrequently. If this is something that you want to make part of your routine in the next year, what I recommend is that you do this workout every 4 to 6 weeks. And again, you set out that block of uninterrupted time where you're able to do it. If you can't do it every 4 to 6 weeks, if it's something that you have to do 8 weeks, do it. Also, make sure you can recover from it. My intra workout had about 75 grams of carbs in it, just to be able to get me through this session, because I knew it was going to be a monster. So make sure you have stuff in the clip that will allow you to recover from it. I knew my stress level at work was going to be relatively low that day, so I wasn't too much worried about not being able to recover from it. Now, I'll tell you what, I was tired because I got up so early to train, but not even tired from the workout, just tired from waking up early. So those are some tips that if you're going to do 1,000 rep arm day, you do. Keep the blood flow going, and limit the pre-workout so you don't make the same mistake I made. So if you got any questions, comment below. I'd love to respond to you and give you some more tips. But until then, y'all have a happy holiday. Have a good one, and y'all take care.